But 2 years from now, whoever wins the next election will have to start paying those debts. 2 years from now. Meanwhile, so far, in every budget that has been read since the domestic debt exchange program started, there hasn't been even one cedi put aside to pay off these debts when they mature. What will happen to Ghana 2 years from now when they start calling in our chits, Uncle Ken?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let me tell you a story. If you have 400 cedis and you go to the market every day and spend 500, eventually you end up not being able to go to the market anymore because you owe everybody. And I remember that in the 70s, we ended up with our mothers feeding us with one egg. And people might find this strange. It was one egg for a family of maybe 5 in a stew, which we had to eat for both lunch and dinner. One egg.
Wow.
When I got to London in the early 80s, my host mentioned casually that, in this country, we don't eat one egg. You know what I did? As soon as he left for work, I fried 8 eggs. That's how bad it was. I fried 8. So, really, after the debt, we have to pay. But, it's a very, very simple issue. I'm an accountant. It's income and expenditure. You've got to live within your means. We can't spend what we haven't got. You can add any GDP figures, you can add anything like that, but you have to live within your means. You cannot spend what you haven't got. And we should not borrow for consumption. We borrow to buy 4-wheel drives. We borrow to fly overseas. If you travel on any aircraft, you see the business class is full of government officials. We borrow to pay wages. It's not sustainable. Who in their right mind borrows to fund consumption? And if we borrow, it must be for long-term infrastructure projects where we have sat down and thoroughly examined whether or not it will deliver a benefit to the people of this country. That's about it. Do not borrow, live within your means. Do not borrow to fund consumption, and only borrow to fund infrastructure projects. As to the debt we have to pay, and that's why I'm saying we're going back to the one egg for 5 people, one egg in a stew for 5 people for 2 meals, and sometimes it was more than 5. But going forward, really, some of the quick wins, and the quick win for me is tourism. Tourism has a capacity to create a lot of jobs for our young people very, very, very quickly. It has, people that are doing nails, air, water, and that probably will be a start. But let's live within our means. Let's not borrow to fund consumption. Let's not borrow to fund 4-wheel drives. Let's not borrow to fund wages. Let's borrow to fund infrastructure. But the debt we have to pay. You can't owe somebody and say you're not going to pay. Hey, it's not possible. What do you mean by you're not going to pay? We've gone to the market. We spent more than we had. Now we can't go to the market and we say we're not going to pay the tomato sellers. What are you talking about? It's very simple. It really, really is very simple.